Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Genesis Alpha 1. Here we are again, back to the first screen. Like I said, this game always saves exactly where you finish, but there's no option to save in-game. The game just saves and you're stuck with whatever progress or lack of you're at the moment. If you make bad decisions, there's nothing you can do, it happens and you can't save scam, and you can't do anything about it. So here we are, we'll just continue, which is kind of obviously what it is. It gives you the sort of setup, but don't worry about that. It's a game that loads in very quickly actually, just from the first screen and to the actual in-game content, it loads in very quickly. So, one thing I didn't say in the first game, which I realised I omitted, was that
resource acquired.
It's a hard game to comment on because things are always happening, and there's no real pause either, so you kind of have to be on it. The point to the game, the actual overall way you kind of win, is you're looking for a Genesis planet. That's a planet that you can colonise, because we're on a kind of colonising mission. That's the whole point. And you'll find one. When you find one, it will say this is a Genesis planet, and you have to have a certain amount of your crew who are able to colonise the planet, basically, because by then you may have crews you've cloned from DNA from other species. So you don't have to have a human crew, but whatever the planet is, you have to have a crew that's applicable to that atmosphere. And then you'll send your crew down and they'll have to do a little mission there, and then you can either end the game because you've colonised the Genesis planet, or you can leave those crew behind and go off and do a new one. And actually, in the game that I cut out of, which I've been playing a long time, that had become a kind of mess because my ship was all over the place and I'd been invaded and bits had been taken over by hostile creatures and mould and eggs, and some bits had fallen off and I'd had to rebuild. I'd actually made, not the mistake, but I'd already decided to not stay at a Genesis planet and continue on in the game. And in hindsight, I think the thing to do in this game when you get the chance is to take the option, go to a Genesis planet and then start again, because I don't think that this is a game that you can continue wandering the universe forever. You will at some point come up against something you can't defeat. And the thing in this game, which I think you probably saw from bits of the first video, is that what's going to happen to you is that it won't be one shot. You won't get shot by some alien spaceship. In fact, I don't think alien spaceships really fire at you. It didn't happen to me in my playthroughs anyway. They'll board you, but more likely it will be a combination of aliens board you, you'll lose some crew going to a planet, you'll get those horrible, disgusting, mushroomy egg bug things all over the place, different ones, you can have different ones, and they can start like those things you saw. And that was the first thing that happened to me in the first like 5 minutes of the game, or 10 minutes of the game, those bugs that got on the ship. And you can get whole species, much bigger, much more dangerous than that, that'll come out of mould and eggs that get on your ship. So it will be a thing that can happen over time, and you'll get to a point where you've got one part of your ship that's infested with this, and one part that's been destroyed by some raiders, and one part that, and then you'll be using resources you don't have, and you'll be trying to clone new people and you'll run out of things. And even if you think that you've got tons of resources and you're kind of set, your resources can be destroyed when parts of your ship are destroyed or something happens, and secondly, you can go through those really fast. When you're repairing your ship, building new bits, using the biomatter to make new clones, you can go through that very fast. So I think this is a game where there's no question, however good you are at this sort of game, it's going to get you at some point. It's impossible it won't. So I think if you get the chance to do your mission for the future of the species, whatever species you're going to put on the planet, then do it. Anyway, so here we are. We've extracted some gunpowder, wasn't it, that we did? And then we can go back here. So with more debris, you can see on the screen there, it will say that debris is 0 gunpowder. It will tell you when you've exhausted all the debris in one place. So we could extract that. The problem with that, as you just saw, is you get bugs. That doesn't mean we won't do it, but before I do that, let's just see what we've got.
Welcome to the shipbuilding interface.
So we've got some
Here you
framework.
build
I'm just
and
going to
upgrade
see what
our
we can
ship.
actually...
Modules can also be deconstructed if you're not satisfied with their layout, or if you have other reasons to destroy them.
So we could build a hangar.
Also, I recommend
that's
using this interface for orientation
useful
on
because
board
you can go
by
to the
accessing
planet.
the ship map.
The other thing we would kind of want early is a workshop. I think at the moment we'll build a workshop.
This is a workshop module.
Now,
Here
as you
we
can
research
see,
construct
and I think I
weapons and
mentioned this in the first
defenses.
video, like I said, there's
You
so
can
many
also
things in this
configure the
game
weapon
to
mods with
remember,
your
it's
favorite
hard to
selection of
remember to
weapons.
mention all the things of what I've mentioned.
Assign
So anyway,
engineers to the
some of the
workshop
things
in
you
order to
build
speed
won't
up
have the
research
option
processes.
to have branching corridors off them, and it's always important to bear that in mind when you build stuff, because if you accidentally build too many things that don't have a branching corridor, you can end up blocking your own progress. For example, that thing there, that's the crew quarters, that doesn't have any option to build through it or off it. So once you build that, that dead ends that whole line. So here's our workshop. We definitely wouldn't want to build it there because we can build a corridor back off there. We've got that bit there we could build there. We could put it here. So we could put it there, and that would kind of dead end that, but then because we've got this corridor here, we could build out from here. So and also the other thing obviously is, you know, wherever you build, if we put it there, then it's gonna, even if we build further back, it's gonna impact what we can build coming off there. So everything is taking up space, and even if we did want to put it off there, then we'd have to put it, that's fine, that's possible actually we might do that. So you'll never, like I said, you'll never get 100% of what you want in this. It's impossible to think ahead where you're going to end up wanting things or putting things, and you won't know what you're going to want. So I could put it there on the other side, but that's going to restrict what I can do off the main central corridor, he said, trying to sound like he's going to build it a really good way. I could put it there, but that's going to block those. But if I put it here, it will mean that we can still do a branch off there, maybe a storage there, and we've still got that one there. So I think this is probably where to put it. Like I said, there's never going to be a place you can put anything where it's not going to block something somewhere. So now we have a workshop, which is good because, oh, that thing in the left, you can see crew member promoted. That happens generally if you go on missions to planets. It can happen quite quickly if you're in a battle, obviously. That's a way to level up people, but it doesn't have to be that. If you've got people just working, that's nice in the game, like it should be in real life. If you've got people just doing the day-to-day jobs of manning the greenhouse, they'll level up there as well. You don't have to send them on missions, so you can leave people there and they'll level up too. And it's always worth, again, lots of these faults are going to be kind of combined with different faults because they all come together at some point. So it's always worth remembering, if you get people leveled up past lieutenant, you can give them a separate different gun if you have one. If it's your first playthrough, you may not have found one yet, but I've got that shotgun thing. So even if they're somewhere like a greenhouse and you've got a better gun, it's worth giving them one, because you can be invaded either by bug things, but as you've seen, they don't necessarily shoot at the bug things unless they're right in front of them. But what they will do is they'll fight against invasion. If you get an enemy that beam onto your ship, they'll definitely fight them. So it's always worth it. Like I said, there's a lot of things in this game to keep thinking about, and once you get into the habit of thinking about it, it's not difficult. I found it hard to get the first hour or so of the game, like I didn't understand what things were going on and how to do things, but once you learn, We may learn by doing a playthrough and ending quickly, and you die. It's going to show me something there. So
Alpha 1 is a dangerous quadrant.
yeah, we know.
Even the bravest
It's a weapons thing. We kind of know. Thanks. Yeah, once you might even do a very quick playthrough and get killed, and then you've learned. And like I said, this game's all about it's geared up to doing numerous playthroughs and gaining experience, gaining weapons you can use the next time you're doing a playthrough, gaining different species that you can start with. It's geared to that. So anyway, so here's our weapons base. You've got a terminal, which is where you can make new weapons. At the moment we've not got a huge amount, and you can make defences, and these are the two I've got to the point of, there may be others, but in the games I've played so far, the playthroughs, I've not got anything other than these two. I think there's higher levels of these two as well. I think I've got a high level turret in one. So the turret, it can be very useful. It all costs resources. You can see there it says gunpowder 3, that's what that costs. We've just got gunpowder, so that's good. Energy barrier costs battery, which we haven't got anyway, and you can see what that would be. It creates an energy field that blocks enemies and their projectiles. Robots, that's just the thing that moves the cargo around. I never got any other robots, and I never felt the need to make another one of those, because you've already got a couple. Ammunition, we can't make any energy cells, we can make shells and these other types of ammunition that you will need. So here it says add to weapon track, so I'll show you what that is. We can add that, and then if you go over here, there is a weapons rack, an actual physical weapons rack. Granted. And there it is, and there you can see the 3 weapons we've got, which is the kind of handgun thing, and the rifle thing, and the shotgun thing. There it will show you what ammo you have, and the ones where there's a space, and it says 0, is obviously where that ammo is something you haven't got, and the one where it says 8x60 we have got. Be careful of using guns where you've got very little ammo, because sometimes you can't make the ammo. You'll find it on planets, but often you won't be able to make it. And there was ammos in all the playthroughs that I never actually got to make. I just found some. So always be wary of your ammos, and you start off with a couple of free turrets. Turrets and energy shields are very, very useful. I'll come back here. So if you wanted to make a turret, and I'll make one just to show you what it is. So you make a turret, and all you do is you press construct, and it will say construct in progress, and then you get these little terminals, and in every thing where you have anything that you're making or building, the cloning thing is the same, and it will say constructing, and then you can see it's very slow. So if you're not in a rush and you're making ammo and you're just making up a backup of ammo because you've got lots of ammo, it won't matter. But if you want to do it quickly, you either need a crew member here, which we've got limited crew members, so I don't really want to send one here, or as I said, you do it yourself, and then it's very quick. And when you've done it, it will come to your weapons rack, and now you can see we've got 3 turrets, and you can take a turret, you can carry more than one turret, take as many as you want, and then we've got a turret on us, and you can see at the top there it says 2, that's the amount of turrets we've got with us. And the weapons lockers in various areas of the ship, I can't remember them all offhand, but you don't always have to come back here. There's one on the shuttle used to go to planets, where you can use one there, and there's, I think it might be one of the bridges. There's a few in different places, so you can go to the weapons locker and change up your loadout, wherever. So there you go, that's the weapons thing basically. So although there are different things you can construct and you need different materials, that's basically how it works. You go there, it will tell you what you can make. You can also do research when you find bits of weapons on planets from different species, or if they invade your ship and you kill them, you'll get bits of their weapons which you can piece together. You'll need lots of bits of DNA or weapons to make or construct new clones or weapons, but you can do that. I've done that. And then you'll make them here, you'll research them here, and then you'll go to your weapons locker and make them, and then your weapons locker only has space for 4 weapons. So where it says add or remove a weapon, if you've got better weapons, you'll just remove one of these from your loadout, replace it, and you can put it back later if you want. Anyway, so that's how that works. There you go, there's our nice little corridor. And when you're going through areas, as I've said, even if you're just walking through to do something completely different, always take the time to check everywhere that's available. So there's some storage. Storage is where you're sending the things from the debris, and that's a place where those egg things could end up. And like I said, just because we've killed some, don't ever assume that you've got them all. You may have, you may not have. That kind of indicator that you get when there's an alien near, like the thing in the Alien movie that bleeps, it's got a little red dot. That will show you when you're around the proximity of an alien. But there isn't in this, there's nothing that tells you in that part of the ship is an egg or there's some alien mould. There's no way to find out. There are detectors you can get later to put underneath, or they're there underneath the ship, and you can get tech to activate them. But even there, that's just for certain parts underneath the ship. You don't have something that's going to search the ship world, shipwide, to tell you where any mould might be, which is something you think you'd kind of want. But anyway, maybe there is, maybe I didn't see it, maybe you get it later, because like I said, this game has a lot of things going on, and I was still learning when I was finishing it, and I've been playing, like I said, I played many hours on numerous playthroughs before I kind of got the final playthrough where I kind of got messed up. So that's that. Let's see what we've got in resources. We've got framework, can we make a nice systems crew. We could make a clone lab. That's very useful. Or we can make a... See, what you have to consider when you're making things, this is a thing that I learned the first time I did it, is because you haven't got endless resources, and you'll never know what you're going to get from that debris, or if you're going to run into trouble. If you think, oh, I'll get that and I'll make that and I'll make a hangar and I'll make all these things, you may suddenly need something, a storage facility, a clone lab, whatever, that you haven't got any resources for. And there's no guarantee when you're searching debris that you'll find what you want. You may just keep finding gunpowder, you may find energy cells, you may find framework, you can find anything, but you don't know. So you don't want to build over the top. A clone lab is useful, that's very tempting. But then if you get a clone lab, there's another thing which is biotank. Okay, so biotank is where you store biomaterial basically to make clones, and so you'll need that kind of once you start doing that. We've got the thing to make both. I think the thing of the things we're going to need. Okay, hangar is more interesting. A deposit, just so you know, is different from storage. A deposit is what you need to get the things that you're getting from the planets. They don't go to storage. Storage is for the things you get from debris in space, and the deposit is for the things you get from the hangar. And as you can see, the deposit is quite heavy on framework and the hangar, so we couldn't do both, and that's the problem at the moment, so we won't do that. Okay, so then what we'll do, is we'll scan some more things, I think. And we'll see what we get. Yeah, beaming debris on board. Like I said, you can leave this, it will do it. I've got 2 crew here doing it, but as you saw last time, it's incredibly easy to end up with some bug thing. So what you can do
Resource acquired.
I'm not drunk. If you can put
Resource beaming complete.
yeah, see, we put a turret there, so
Resources collected.
when you carry these turrets around, you can place them anywhere. You can pick them up again if you want. So if you go there, it will say take turret, and you can pick it up. But what that will do is, as you can see, it's doing exactly what you'd expect. It's a turret, it's watching the area, it will check for bugs, it will shoot any alien things that move. Again, a bit like the crew, it won't shoot eggs. So if you've got like a stationary mouldy lump of goo there, it won't shoot that. It'll shoot moving things. So it's good to have one of these. I mean, you'll end up having, I think at one point I had one of these on each corner of this, one there, one there, one there, to watch over any alien things coming in, but it won't stop them. It'll catch the ones that come in that are moving, and it will shoot some. Some may come in down here, and you can put turrets down here, and it will shoot them, but you won't ever get them all, because what will happen is one will get through and then it will lay some mouldy eggs, as you saw how quickly that one did in the other game. So these turrets are very useful. You'll want as many as you can get. You'll always want more than you have, and they can get killed. You can move them around, but you know, if you can see the way this game is, you're protecting your ship basically, and these mouldy aliens, bugs can be anywhere, they can spawn anywhere, aliens can beam in anywhere, so you could put them everywhere, defending the bridge, defending the greenhouse, although you'll never know exactly where things are going to happen. And also, when you go to planets, you can take these turrets with you, which is why I picked up two. And you can place one where you're doing your mining extractions to kind of cover you, or place one near your ship entrance to kind of cover your retreat. So these turret things are very, very, very useful. And just so you know, when you go on a planet, if you deploy turrets, you can deploy more than one. If you deploy turrets or anything, shields, you need to pick them up before you go. If you don't, they'll stay behind. And sometimes there's no option because you're running and you just have to do it. Sometimes you'll forget, but if you do, you'll leave them. So far, we don't have any bugs that have come in. But you can see from the game, there's a lot going on in this game. I've not touched on going to a planet. I've not got a hangar yet, but I haven't really got resources to. I will probably build a hangar next actually, but you can't spend your whole time. There you go, bug. So there it is. See, as you can see, the turret was there, and did it help? No, there's another bug.
Attack!
See, they all, you can never quite know. Our soldiers came down, our crew, and shot them, and that's DNA matter, which is useful because we can build a biotank. So we need a biotank to store this stuff, and that's very important, that biomatter. It's not any more important than the other things, but like I said, you need that to make clones, and when you get crew members dying on planets, that's why I've not been super keen to go to a planet and get a hangar, because we won't be able to store biomatter from anything we kill there, and if we lose crew, we haven't got the facility to make more. So it's all a balance, but yeah, as you can see, the turret was there, and the bugs came on board, and it didn't really help. That doesn't mean it's not useful, that doesn't mean that, you know, a big bug can spawn here and the turret will shoot it, but you can't rely on the turret or your crew, because sometimes they'll run down and do it, and other times they won't. But having said that, as I was saying at the beginning of this little paragraph, you can't spend your whole time standing in the tractor beam area waiting on this, because, you know, at some points you've got a long period of time where you're beaming things aboard, and meanwhile you want to go to a planet, you want to go and do something else on the ship, you want to go and deal with something in the clone lab, whatever. So that's the reason why you have to spend a lot of time checking what's going on, because when you're not physically there, you won't see, and the ship won't tell you unless you come back here and then you go down there, and then if you see mould or there's that little red dot on the scanner comes out, you'll know there's something. But if you don't come back in here and you leave it, you won't know. But you can't spend your whole time standing here with a gun. That's obvious. So as with, like I said, it's a lot like, yeah, I mean, I would say kind of in a weird way, this is a bit like the Alien movie, where, you know, they couldn't spend all their time watching that whole big ship, and Nostradamus, wasn't it? But they can't spend the whole time watching the whole ship. So because they couldn't, obviously, and there's only a certain amount of them, which is again like this, the aliens were in the cargo hold, and they, you know, they were making their disgusting nests, and that's a bit like this. You can't spend all your time somewhere. You've got limited crew. You've got other things to do. But at least in this game, we're kind of aware that that's what's going to happen in that game. In that movie, they weren't aware that was happening, so they were really screwed. That's a technical term, really screwed. So I think we're going to build a... we're going to build... It's really hard to remember which of these things comes where. A hangar, because although there's reasons why I don't necessarily want to, whichever thing I build now is not going to be great, but I need
pilots to operate a hangar.
I need kind of to show, kind of, I think I need to build a hangar. Yeah, I think that's the thing I built first last time, so. We have built a hangar. So, how exciting. So, we built the hangar. It's nice, I like that in this game, that it's got that thing above each section that's an important section, obviously like corridors, and it tells you what's there, so that's very handy. It might seem like a nothing thing, but when you're running around and you've got multiple areas and loads of corridors, and it can be very important. So there's the hangar, I'll show you the hangar. Looks like a hangar.
To increase the size of the ship and to forge weapons, we need to gather resources.
Planet farming is kind of obvious, you know what that's going to be. There you go, we've got corridors that come off the hangar, obviously not the rear because that's where the engine is, but obvious. And as with everything, there's always a console somewhere, and it will tell you can go there, and it'll tell you what's there. So there's sulphur, which is what we do, that's more gunpowder. Iron to make framework. You can have a facility that turns resources into things, but again you need to build all these things, so yeah. Let's see what we've got left. We haven't got much of anything other than gunpowder, so we can make lots of turrets, which is nice. You can also, when you go to these terminals, and I didn't click this until a little bit into the second playthrough, I think. It doesn't kind of show you exactly. When you're at the terminal, whether it's on the bridge or in the any area, in the clone lab, in the weapons section, if you turn the right joystick that way, that will put you onto this thing that tells you which crew you've got and where to assign them. But it's not self-explanatory from that screen how you do that at all. So it took me a little bit. You can see at the top it says crew assignment, and I was pressing things like, how do I do that, how do I do that? But actually you just have to turn the right joystick like that, and it said you can't walk up to it, really, and do that. You can see, even if you can see it there, you can't walk up and do it. You have to sign into the terminal like that and turn like that. And it took me a while to work that out. Like I said, I'm not the quickest person on the uptake. So we can assign someone to here. If you're in the area, whoever you assign will go to the area. So we've got 2 people on the tractor beam, and basically anyone who's assigned to the hangar is who's going to come with you on a planetary mission. So that's how that works. So again, it's all a balance. You have to have someone in the greenhouse looking after the plants. There's no option there, or the plants will die. You have to have somebody in the tractor beam, not because you need to really, but because there can be bugs there and it's good to have someone. We don't need someone there now, there's nothing more to extract, so we could take both of them. And you don't have to have someone on the bridge, but I like to. I think that's sort of like a throwback to space movies in general, where you wouldn't leave the bridge unassigned. So I think that's just that. But I always like to have someone on the bridge. And again, if you get invaded by aliens, you know, the bridge is a place where you want to have someone. I ended up with a few turrets there and a shield to stop people like shooting in there, and yeah, you can have quite a lot of fun building up. You can have a lot of fun building up defences in different areas of the ship. Just to find out that the aliens come from a different direction. It's a bit like, I can't remember what it was called, there was an old castle sim game, and you'd end up building turrets and all those kind of things, trebuchets and catapults everywhere, and building up your archers in the turret, and then just when you thought all the aliens were going to come through one way, all the armies were going to come through one way, they'd come a completely different way, and they'd make all your special preparations completely redundant. And this is a bit like that. You can build up one area and think they're going to come through there. They'd have to come that way, of course they would, but they don't, and they come completely different. They come behind you, they come from a different part of the ship. You can build up the bit you think they're going to be in, and I found that out early on, that you think they have to, I thought they have to come through the hangar the first time, and I built up defences in the hangar, and they do come in the hangar, but I'll come back to that in a moment. But they can also beam into other areas. Yeah, coming back to the hangar is also, like, let's just bring someone here, not her.
Jabba-san.
That one. The hangar is also a bit like the tractor beam, because you're bringing resources in from the ship, the shuttle ship, which will all stack up there. They'll have little containers of all the things you bring in. You can bring in alien bugs, and even aliens will come back on the ship, not the bugs. You can get the bugs that will come in the things you bring back in, and more wonderfully, sometimes aliens will whole aliens will come in and run out shooting from when you try and escape from a planet. This is how the shuttle looks, by the way. You have this little thing here, which is very important. When you're on a planet, you can run back to this, and if you've got biomatter, you can redo your health, so that's always good. And you've got, like I said, the weapons locker here. It's exactly the same as the one in the weapons section. You can pick up more ammo and stuff like that, so that's all good. But yeah, you need to kind of, like I said, you need to be, things can happen everywhere all the time, and again, just like in, I guess like it would be in real space, the more you're in contact with other planets and other materials and anything alien that could be there, the more it can affect you. And so far in this game, I haven't found any friendly aliens. I don't think there are. I don't know, maybe there are, but so far, yes, these aliens that you can get their DNA and make them into your crew, but you only do that because they've attacked you on a planet and you've killed a certain amount of them to get all their DNA samples and make them. They're not because they're friendly. So I don't think there really are friendly alien species that come and say, "Hey, welcome to our world." It's not got that. They're all out to get you. Some of them are out to get you because they want your resources, and these pirates that come and try and steal, and some of them just because they're slimy bug things, and I suppose that's what slimy bug things do. Okay, so I think what I will be doing in the next video is going to a planet, but like I said, there's a lot to take in this game, and I won't do that now because that'll take a little bit of time, and I will do that in the next video. So next video we're off to a planet. So thanks for watching, and take care till next time. Bye for now.